I want to thank everybody for being here. I hope you're having a good, what day is today? Wednesday afternoon / evening, depending on what part of the world you're in. I'm looking at the feed right now on the YouTube channel, and I don't know why it hasn't appeared yet. Just trying to make sure I'm actually live. How come nobody could see me? How come nobody could see me? There it is. There it is. Took a little while. I'm being powered by StreamYard right now, so I'm looking at my footage. I ate too many chocolate mills right now. I got a little bit of residue. I'm being powered by StreamYard right now, so a lot of the time I'm looking through StreamYard, and I try to look at my feed on YouTube just to make everything is going smoothly, and it looks like I'm shooting on my Razer flip phone right now. So I'll close some things out. See if that helps a little bit. I don't know if you were here the other night when I was trying to do some streaming. I was trying to do some groundbreaking stuff. I was trying to mess around with some new ideas, some new concepts. I thought it was going to be very fun. It did not work out. It was kind of a disaster. So it was kind of a disaster. It was terrible. So I went over to Rumble, and a good percentage of you guys went over, and we had a good time. And I want to thank you for doing it. And after this stream, I'm gonna stream on Rumble. Rumble doesn't lag like this. Rumble doesn't lag. It doesn't look like I'm shooting on, as they say, a potato. So after I'm over, and hopefully we can have some more fun over there. Sam Garnett just got dumped, Grandmaster. This is exactly what I need right now. No way. For reals? Just got dumped. This is exactly what I need right now. Look, let me tell you the best thing that I could think of saying right now. Sam Garnett. There was a time in my life where there was an experience like that that took place, and I remember thinking that it was the worst thing that could have possibly happened, and I was very down and out about it. You know, I was down for the count. I mean, if Herb Dean was in the vicinity, I would have been a goner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be here today. But somehow, some way, I made it on the other side, and now for real, I look at that parting of ways as nothing but a blessing in disguise. You know, especially like years later, you run into them and you're like, I dodged the bullet. Like, you'll find out what I'm saying somewhere down the road. But you know, it's sad to hear, like, in the moment, it probably doesn't do a lot of good for certain people to say things to you, but like later on, you know, and I'm a big believer in you know, in both the role reversals as well, that time heals all wounds, and that time wounds all heals, and it kind of depends on how you live your life. And that's a very significant statement right there that I heard a long time ago. You could Google it. Time wounds all heals, and time heals all wounds. And what's that telling you right there? It's in the palm of your hand. It's all up to you how you're going to live your life and how you're going to move forward. I just wish you nothing but the very best. I hope you stay strong. And I just want to let you know from experience, I'm so glad that certain breakups take place. And I trust and I hope that in the future you will as well. Thank you for being here, Sam Garnett. I'll do my best to alleviate your headaches this evening. Someone just said, Omar Quinones said, how are we feeling today, GM? Honestly, I'm feeling a little bit perturbed right now because I don't know what's going on with the lagging. This is I'm president. I didn't think I was gonna have to worry about stuff like this anymore. I mean, I guess it doesn't have anything to do with my camera. It's probably the Wi-Fi. Let me off my Wi-Fi real quick and see if that makes a difference. Oh, by the way, if you're watching this after the fact, the stream after the fact, I'll put timestamps or something for later. I'm not trying to make it be a long, clunky thing that takes me forever to get to the point. It's just right here, right now, while we're in the live. There's something I apparently need to do to make it better. Um, so if you're watching after the fact, I'll try my best to give you that stuff so that it's easier. It's an easy watch for you. Um, if you could do whatever you're doing without the Wi-Fi, comma, then turn it off. Period. Hopefully that makes a difference. Like even as I'm looking at the screen right now, I can see how laggy it is, and it's bothering me. It's bothering me. Shout out from New Zealand. What's up, Shay Dan? Shout out to New Zealand. Much love. Miss Chuck Almighty, AGM got the notification for the live stream on time. Happy to be here. Finally, we're coming up. Things are changing around here. Thank you for letting me know, Miss Chuck Almighty. What's up, Rachel? Rachel's back in the house. What's up, Gentry? Mehmedi? So let me get to the topic at hand today. What did I name it? What's my title? Oh, Khamzat can't lose. Khamzat can't lose to Pereira. And look, I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way. The reason I'm saying that is because I literally can't lose because Katie Ruff will probably assassinate that fool. So I'm not saying it as like a fanboy or anything like that. I'm saying it as a matter of fact. If Khamzat Chamoyev doesn't win the fight, that fool's probably going to cease to exist. But that's a little bit beside the point. Like there's a little bit of beef going back and forth right now with Khamzat and with Pereira, and it's a little bit of foolishness, to be honest. The land of the frozen sun. Where's that at? 15 degrees. Oh snap, Angel Padilla. I didn't know you were from Alaska. There's a little beef going on right now between Chamoyev and Pereira, which is interesting because a lot of the time you have Chamoyev, and he comes across like as that beast Dagestani full like ash monster against someone that's not quite that. You know, it's always like fire and ice. It's always like these two things that are very different going at it, different styles, and it makes it exciting. You get Pereira against like Adesanya. You know, you got this behemoth, this solid dude, this stoic dude. And then you got the other dude that's going to be sticking and moving and running and having to rely on strategy and playing the long game and being perfect for 5 full rounds and all that. It's not the same with Pereira and Khamzat. With those two, it's almost like you got the same fool. It's like for the first time, these are going to be someone who everybody looks at as like the same kind of a thing. Because these are kind of individuals where like usually when they're in a fight, they're like the one that everyone think is like the murderer. They're like all impressive and they're crazy and they're a beast and they're a monster. We finally get to see that versus itself now. The only difference is, look, when you're in a cage, and I've been learning this by going back and doing my research that I've been doing with the first UFCs. I've been spending a lot of time watching UFC 2 recently. I don't know if all of you saw the UFC 1 video that I put out in the shorts I was putting out. Now I moved on to UFC 2. But look, we could say what we want about BJJ. Like if someone rolls up on me and I'm getting a sandwich at Subway, am I going to do BJJ? If they roll up on me in the parking lot, they start tripping about, whatever. So my way I park my car or something like that. I'm not going to do BJJ. I'm not going to start rolling around the concrete if some fool wants to get down. Trouble loves company, Most likely, this meathead wants to get down. He's, yelling and stuff. I go down. I try to get him in the triangle choke. He's probably going to have 2-3 homies hop out of the car and start bringing me with the sandwiches, It's not a fair fight in real life. But in the cage, if Khamzat gets a hold of Pereira, I think that's a wrap. No pun intended. If you're following closely. I kind of went back and forth with Chamoyev. At first, I didn't really care for him. I thought he was very abusive, very annoying, very obnoxious. And then I started kind of liking his style, and I started kind of being a fan and kind of rooting for him. And then I started getting a little bit annoyed again. So I'm not like a Khamzat fanboy. If anything, I'd probably say I'm more of a fan of Pereira than Chamoyev. But I'm just being real. I'm not coming on here to tell you about who's my favorite. I'm coming on here to tell you about what I'm seeing. I'm coming on here to tell you about facts. And when you see what Adesanya was able to do, when you look at what he was able to do with Pereira on the ground, and you consider what Chamoyev is capable of doing on the ground, and then you see Pereira putting out videos like he put out earlier, I don't know what that fool was thinking. I don't know if that fool's been in the United States long enough where he has like a press person or whatever, what do they call it? Somebody didn't tell this fool that it was a bad idea to put out the video that he did where he was like fighting in the island or something. He was like mud wrestling. Did you guys see that video? If I was on Rumble right now, I would show it to you, but I know that YouTube will probably flag me. I don't know if you guys saw the video that Pereira put out. Hey, Noro Eagle, don't cry, fool. I'm more of a Pereira fan than I am of Chamoyev. But people come here for the truth and nothing but the truth. I'm not just going to be acting like a fanboy just because I like Pereira. We got to talk about facts right here. I don't know if you guys saw the video that came out earlier of Pereira, and he's like, oh, this is like if Chamoyev tried to take me down. And he was fighting with some, I don't even know what's going on. It looked like it looked like one of those shows they put on in Hawaii. I don't know what was happening. But all it did, you could even see in the comment section from people that watched it, they're like, the only thing that this did was reinforce the opinion that Pereira doesn't know how to wrestle. I don't know if Pereira was looking at the same thing that I don't know if he uploaded the wrong footage from his camera roll or what. The Senegal Wrestling Circle. Senegal Wrestling Circle. All right. Somebody says, what if Khamzat slept him? That would be funny. They're playing touch button in the woods. That would be funny, but look at it. Grog Dizzy, I see the comment. I see you. You're not shadow banned. So look, when you look at the fight with Pereira and Adesanya, and look, this is only reinforcing what I said to begin with in the thumbnail and the title. You know, it's only helping what I'm saying. Khamzat can't lose. And again, I'm not coming at this from the fanboy angle. I'm coming at this from the angle of that fool will be assassinated by Katie Robb if he loses. Imagine. How do you think Katie Robb looks at? What if Kobe Covington called the Brazilians a bunch of animals or something like that? And that fool's an American. Imagine a Russian. Imagine a Russian talking about a Brazilian. You can't even find that on the internet. You're going to have to go to like Live Leak or something like that. You can't even. That's like 25 and over type of content right there. You don't even want to know what a Russian has to say about a Brazilian. Forget about Kobe Covington. Listening to Kobe Covington talk about Brazilians is like watching a PBS version right there. Don't even get a Russian started on Brazilians. So that's the primary reason why Khamzat can't lose. But beyond that, it's because Pereira doesn't know how to wrestle. And he tried to prove it by releasing a video that he could wrestle. And he's like, look, this is what's going to happen if Khamzat tries to take me down. He uploaded the wrong video from his camera roll, allegedly. And he made his wrestling look even worse than it did against Adesanya. At least Adesanya was a world champion. Whatever time world champion. And then he fights this fool out playing touch butt in the woods, according to Rachel. And he gets clowned out there too. That's how you're trying to show us that you're going to beat Khamzat? And then on top of that, what I was addressing, but I was trying to lay the whole thing out again. On top of that, someone said, what if Khamzat sleeps in? When Pereira was fighting Adesanya, he was on some of that Charles Oliveira type of nonsense. Apparently, Pereira didn't know that it's already a Brazilian zombie. Nobody told Pereira. I don't think that fool reads. Pereira strikes as the type of individual that reads. So he probably didn't scope the articles. But there's already a Brazilian zombie. When Pereira fought Adesanya, he was getting touched up too much. Way too much. Remember, he looked like he was out on his feet. That fool looked like a bobblehead. He did it even almost funnier than Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee had a stanky leg, but Pereira had the bobblehead. It looked funny. Imagine him going in there with someone like Khamzat that's going to swing more, swing harder. It's a dangerous fight for Pereira. And Pereira already knew how to beat Adesanya. He already had the template. And when you already beat someone twice, a whole lot of what was gonna go on in there has to do with the mentality. He went in there with the winner's mentality twofold, 2 times over. It's a lot different when you're going inside Dagestani, where it's quite literally life or death. I'm telling you, Ali Abdelaziz taking all these fools over there, putting lives in danger. Am I saying that Khamzat is a better striker than Izzy? No. What I'm saying is he'll put out more volume, and he probably, and the only reason I'm saying probably is because I don't want a bunch of fools to start crying right now. But the real answer, he clearly hits harder than Adesanya. So Khamzat hits harder, he's going to put out way more volume. You might think, well, put out all the volume you want. If the fool's being smart and he's slipping punches, bobbing and weaving, sidestepping, getting out. Yeah, Pereira, as far as we've seen, doesn't do that. Pereira likes to stand there and become a bobblehead. I'm trying to tell you, if you ask me, who are you a bigger fan of? Who would you like to see on the trajectory winning more fights? Pereira or Chamoyev? And I'm going to say, you know what? Based on different things I've seen, how things have gone down and different attitudes, and I'm going to say Pereira. All right? Because some of you are already getting it twisted in here. Some of you I could already see in the chat trying to come at me like the Sean O'Malley fanboys. These sugar fanboys. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. I mean, I could understand you. I don't know. I'm not gonna get into all that. I know there's a lot of sport fans in here, but it's like I was telling someone a while back. I don't understand how a full-grown man can walk around with some other dude's name on his back. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to offend. I know there's people in here. I know there's sports fans in here. All right, I'm not trying to alienate. All right, I'm not trying to come at you side. I'm saying from my own perspective and my own life circumstances, I don't know how a full-grown man could go out into the world wearing another man's name plastered across the back. You know, I know sometimes some of the hyenas get down like that, but we're talking about full-grown man right now. I don't know, but that's you. You know, we live our lives differently. And that's kind of how I feel when I see other people in the comments. Oh, you hate sugar. You're jealous of sugar. Sugar. I'm like, bro, you know how this looks right now? I'd rather be a hater than talking all this sugar nonsense. Oh, honey. O'Malley's your candy girl. Angel P, I shaking a few bucks for this entertainment. None better. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Hopefully, I just feel a little bit delirious right now because of the cold weather. Hopefully, it's not getting to you. I don't want you to regret it later, but it means a lot to me. Thank you. Helping me pay for this sun kiss here, helping me stay awake. I was gonna make some green tea, and I ran out of lemonade, so I had to hit up the sun kiss. Bunch of calories. You want Mero? That's the guy right there. When's his next Bellator fight? I need to look that up. That's something I could probably cover on Rumble. Again, if I put it on YouTube, they'll take me down. They shut me down the other night. That was heartbreaking. But I really appreciate those of you that went over with me to Rumble. We continued the party over there. Oh, mayonnaise. You're making me hungry. Usman versus Pereira. What are your thoughts? Pereira. I mean, Usman is clear. I mean, like, it's not even worth talking about. Like, I was about to say something dumb right now. I was about to say that Usman's a better wrestler than Pereira. The thing is, when you put those two fools head to head in the cage, um, we're not talking about a grappling match right here. Um, Usman is another individual that has allowed himself. I mean, we could see it. Go watch his previous fights. This is just a fact. He allows himself to get hit quite a bit. And if he's fighting like that with Pereira, he's gonna get knocked out. It's one of those things. I know it's cliche. I know you hear it all the time, but it's one of those things where Usman will have to be perfect for 25 minutes. Pereira will have to be perfect for 1 second. I think Pereira will beat him. That's exactly what I was talking about. Following F13, I was making fun of jerseys. That's literally what I was talking about. What if Andrew Tate joins the UFC? That would be hilarious, and it would be fun. Okay, so look at just let me know your thoughts right now if you want to do it in the chat. Just go ahead and put Pereira or put Chamoyev. I'm very curious. And I want to lay it out very one more time. If I had to root for one, if you ask me who are you more of a fan of, who do you want to see winning more? Who do you want to see with the out? I'd say Pereira. He's far, and I might have some silly reasons as far as you're confirmed, but everything, this is all subjective. You know, we like the different fighters, and we root for different fighters for different reasons. Pereira, in my opinion, is just a more likable guy. That fool's hilarious. I like the stuff that he does on social media. I think he's an exciting fighter to watch. I tend to root for him more than Chamoyev. However, if they fought, my guess would be that Chamoyev would win. First, again, because he has to, or Katie Rob's going to assassinate that fool. Number two, that fool doesn't know how to wrestle. And he tried to show us that he does know how to wrestle with that video he put out earlier, and only further proved he don't know how to wrestle. And we definitely know Chamoyev knows how to wrestle, and very, very well. And then we saw that how Pereira did striking against Adesanya. That fool got turned into a bobblehead, almost got knocked out. And not only did he almost get knocked out at that one significant moment, he got hit too much in other moments throughout the fight. Has way more volume, way more of a striking output than Adesanya, and he hits harder. And he's gonna go in there like a wild animal based on the instincts. He's not gonna be thinking about running around and keeping the title that he don't even have yet, like Adesanya was doing, just trying to keep the title. He's gonna go in there like an animal. So that would be my pick. And let me read Camon's comment right here, and I'm gonna see who you guys are rooting for. Oh, I just realized you've been live and I've been here. Signed up for Rumble just to watch you again. Forgot my original log info. Oh my gosh. See that? I was telling people, I understand. It's like dude coming over, having to put in the name and put in the password and making a carousel. You did it twice. You the man. How's the YouTube growth going? Thank you. Thank you. I said I was probably gonna do it about 5 o'clock. It's probably gonna be later now. Things are going, obviously. After I finish the stream on here, I'm gonna go do another stream on Rumble, and I'm gonna be looking at footage and stuff and like reviewing some fights that YouTube won't let me because they'll take me down. I tried doing it the other night, they didn't let me do it. So I want to continue the party after this. I'm gonna be over there at Rumble. Metal fights for the 205 bout versus Nemco next on February 4th. I can't wait. That one we'll probably watch on Rumble. That will be fun. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, so we got Pereira, Boers, Chamoyev, Pereira, Khamzat, Alex. No, Funk. I mean, as a little kid, it just wasn't my style. I wasn't a jersey wearer either, but I get it. As a kid, especially, I wore jerseys. It was very, 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 very few and far between, but I did. I think what I did instead is like look at my background right here. I didn't just wear them across my back. I was playing with these fools in my room. There's a place where I can go and teabags for life. Did you see O'Malley on the Rogan podcast? He said Jan needs to accept that he lost it, but he also said that he never lost to Cheeto. The level of hypocrisy. Yeah. It's the level of hypocrisy is astounding. There's some fools out there in the world that they're so unbelievably off, so twisted, so hypocritical that it's just pros to swine. You know, you just gotta kick the dust off your chanclas at some point and be like, hey, I tried my best. I can't keep going in this cycle of destruction. You know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I mean that all speaks for itself right there. There's nothing for me to elaborate further on. I mean, that fool's ridiculous. That's what you're dealing with. That's what all these sugar fools are rooting for out there. But that Khamzat, if he doesn't get goaded into brawling like he did with the Burns fight, Pereira, Jamoyev, I think both could win. Khamzat, Usman's at the end of his career. Pereira has the hammer hands. Alex needs to train with Oliveira. Pereira win. Hey, I think it's either about even, or there's actually more people saying Pereira. So you know what it looks like it's shaping to be right here. It looks like it's shaping out to be one of those situations where I'm gonna have to come around and tell fools I told you so, because they don't listen to wisdom and knowledge of the Grandmaster. And they're just like, this fool looks dangerous. He's got the hands. He's a monster. And look at what he did. And I'm like, yeah, but you got to consider that I'm always trying to tell fools MMA math is my strongest subject. It's my strongest subject. And I'm always going to show you my work. I'm going to show you my work. But people don't want to listen. We'll just have to revisit this later. Period, with all due disrespect to Khamzat. How can you say that he could beat Pereira when he's uploading photos and videos of himself getting smacked around by bloated Katie robbing his kids? Look, that's exactly my point. And you know what it might be? There's kind of different ways you could approach it. It might be right for now. You know, he looks like a savage in the cage and everything, but we've seen videos of him out there, you know, with the homies and maybe getting a little bit too up close and personal with the likes of Darren Till and having his what I'm saying is we've seen him break that Boris character. We've seen him look like a softie. You know, we've seen him with the big old cheesers. We've seen him in those emotional moments. Maybe he's not as hard outside in real life as he is in the cage. He's crying for help. And more, him putting out photos like that only makes it more apparent to people like Pereira. You fool, do you see me in here? In these videos with this dictator? You see me with this Winnie the Pooh looking fool in here? Getting manhandled? Do you see his little teenage sons beating me up? Hey, Pereira, do you see this? Do you understand that this fool will kill me? That he will assassinate me dead if I lose to you? Do you really think I'm going to lose to you, Pereira? After you couldn't even take that fool down in Senegal that you're playing touch butt in the jungle with? You think that I'm not going to take you down? I'm going to be dead if I don't. So we could talk about those photos, period. And I know what you're saying. It looks pathetic. But that's probably his way of telling Pereira, how dare you think I could lose to you? I lose to you, I lose my life. So I think that only shows us the magnitude of the situation he's in and the fact that he definitely can't lose. Ryan Graham, thank you for joining the YouTube membership. Please scope out the community tab where you can find extra content. You can find the MMA Discord link, and you can get in there and chat with the homies. Lots of extra behind the scenes chatting going on all the time. 1-incher member for 6 months. What happened to We Out Here MMA? Thank you. 6 months is a long time to be on here for the ride. Thank you. And I hadn't heard from the MMA boys in a while. And I started to be like, hey, how are they doing? And I was looking them up and I didn't see any uploads. And I was like, what's going on? And I was thinking about hitting him up and being like, "Hey, are you good? Like, what's happening?" But I wanted to seem like I was just trying to be like, "Hey, let's make more videos." Like, I don't know. Like, they're really, really cool guys. I really like them. And they probably wouldn't think that. I would hope that we got enough in the bank now, that they know that I'm not coming at it like that. But I don't know. It just dropped out of nowhere, and I don't know what happened. I hope they're all good. I hope nothing bad went down. Um, but I need to get in touch with them and just be like, "You guys all right? What's going on?" Um, Come on, Mero stream on Rumble is super necessary. That's our boy. Keep an eye out for Come on MMA on Rumble. That's what's up. Look, let me tell you guys this right now. I'm gonna be doing more streams on Rumble because I discovered something over there. I could play things on Rumble that YouTube won't let me play. The other night I went on Rumble. Not only can I play, I'm gonna go on Rumble after this, and I'm gonna be breaking down street fights and stuff like that YouTube would normally age restrict and take down. I'm gonna go do it on Rumble in a little bit. But in addition to that, the other night I went on Rumble and I did a UFC 1 Mexican Fight Companion. And the people that were there, we watched UFC 1 together, and it was on the screen. I could do that on Rumble. I could actually play it on the screen. You can chill and watch it right there like a real party. It's way different. So that's the kind of stuff I'm gonna be able to do over there. So I'd appreciate it if you would, hop over there and enjoy what there's some groundbreaking stuff over there. Tyrone, you got no homework tonight, Tyrone? Is Tyrone Will laundering money on my stream? I never even thought about that before. Does my stream become part of a money laundering operation? Tyrone Will, sorry for being so late to the live stream. I've been going there 32 minutes, but I'm happy to report that the project was a success. We salvaged a B+ in science. B+. That's what's up. And you got the plus on A. A B+ is basically an A-. It's like, hey, are you playing E sharp, or are you playing an F? It's the same thing. A B+ is an A-, and an A- is basically an A. You got an A. You got an A, Tyrone Will. I'll be happy to see Alex all of a sudden get folded. I mean, look, this is what happens when we come here, when we gather together and we're not interested in anything except talking facts. That's what happens. Then we come to the result, that fool's probably going to get folded. And like I said it again and again and again and again and again. You asked me, who are you more of a fan of? Who would you enjoy seeing winning different fights more often? I would say Pereira, not Chamoyev. It might change in the future. I don't know. If Chamoyev learns how to, be a human being and not be annoying, maybe. But right now it's Pereira. But that doesn't mean I'm going to say that I think Pereira's going to beat him. I don't. And neither does Tyrone Will. Tyrone Will, I really appreciate it. I don't know. You are a mystery to me. I don't understand you, but I'm thankful for you. I can't even, I don't know the words. It is shocking. We all want to know what you do for a living, and we all want to know where we could get applications. I'm so happy that you've built a life for you that you have, so that you could help me have the life that, well, not that I have, but that I'm hopefully striving for. Thank you very much, Tyrone Will. You help more than anybody could understand. Thank you. Ridiculous. Ray Till is the new Dominic Reyes. He won't get another win no matter what gym he's at or which MMA boyfriend he got. He lost, unfortunately. Till's fighting in the very next event, right? Or is it the next one? I saw his name when I was looking at the upcoming events. I can't remember if it was this one or the next one. I was going to say they put him on the prelims of a fight night, did they? even though he is probably very much deserved at this point. Yeah, it's actually more shocking that Darren Till is actually still on a main card. That is more shocking than anything. Darren Till, where are his wins and losses right now? What is that looking like? Actually, I want to see what's most recent on here for him. So he lost to Woodley. Wow. I mean, he was really. It is a kind of a disservice to him because they blew him up too quick, and everybody knows that. I'm not breaking news right here. It's too quick because the first decent name that he beat was Donald Cerrone in 2017, and then he beat Wonder Boy by decision 2018. And to be honest, I don't really remember the details of that fight. But if he beat Wonder Boy by decision, I would assume there's probably some people that think Wonder Boy won. Just the fact that it's Wonder Boy, and I know how good of a striker he is, and the fact that it went the full distance, I would assume a lot of people probably thought Wonder Boy won. And I'm just doing this to try to make Till look even worse, and you know that. And plus, Till missed weight on that fight. Then he lost to Woodley, lost him by a submission, lost to Masvidal by KO, beat Gastelum, but now not only was it a decision, it was split. Still not good. Lost to Whitaker, lost to Brunson. Yeah, it's just, wow. It's not looking good. And I mean, we've all known that. I completely agree, Ray. We've all known that. He's actually become something more of a social media influencer, and he's even taking L's on there. He's getting his accounts deactivated left and right. It's just not good for him anywhere. Brooks Allen, who wins? Khamzat or Colby? I think I've been asked this before, and I think I said Khamzat. And I don't think I thought about it much. I think I said it with the quickness. Time has gone on more, and I've considered things, and I've looked at different fights. My opinion on this might continue to evolve as time goes on, but right here and now, I think I would actually say Colby, and that I'm kind of surprising myself. But the main reason I'm based that on is because of how badly we've seen Chamoyev gas recently. And we're not going to see that with Covington. Covington is also going to be very good at stopping takedowns, potentially. And he has just such a high output, which a lot of people don't have against Moye because they're afraid of the takedown. But because Covington doesn't have to be, Covington already has a high output to begin with. But because he's not afraid of the takedown from Chamoyev because he's so good at takedown defense and at wrestling, period, I think he's going to continue forward with a high output. And that's only going to make Chamoyev's non-existent stamina even worse. So I'm going to move on to the next topic, which was Canelo CTE episode. Canelo went full Conor McGregor, and Canelo is now trying to fight Barney fighters. I mean, unless I'm misrepresenting history, as far as I remember, Canelo didn't even win his last fight against a fighter, or I should say boxer, because boxers aren't necessarily fighters. Canelo didn't win his last fight in the arena in which he's supposed to be winning fights. Now he's trying to fight soccer players. This is full Conor McGregor type of nonsense right here. All these fools from Ireland. I don't care what you tell them. You know what? Canelo overcompensating about this Mexico thing all the time. That's what it is. It's overcompensation. And it only makes it look more suspicious the fact that that fool's most likely from Ireland, not Mexico. Nobody believes you're from Mexico. You think you can walk around sporting the Mexico shoes, the Mexico hoodie, the Mexico wallet, all this in Mexico, 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 wanting to fight players in Mexico. You're overcompensating, fool. Have you ever even been to Mexico? Canelo, Mexico. If Canelo's from Mexico, then so is Ron Howard. I'll wait for you to Google Ron Howard. Jack's regret. Sorry I missed it, but your top 5 favorite WWF wrestler. That's right. I said WWF. I don't recognize WWE. Thank you. That's what's up. Every once in a while, I'll just say WWE for the sake of understanding and stuff like that, but it makes me feel a little gross. I too stand by WWF. Top 5 WWF wrestlers. This is a tough one for me. So I'm gonna start with Hulk Hogan, which is always my guy. That's Hogan. I'm a real American. Fight for the rights of like that's the guy right there. But like if there was ever like there was different times in my life where there was the number one, like Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold Steve Austin are like right here. Hulk Hogan and Stone Cold, like, but just out of like, because I was like the first one and everything, I'll go Hulk Hogan. And then I have to go with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. That's Hulk Hogan, and then Stone Cold Steve Austin, Mankind. There's too many favorites. I got too many favorites. Man. You know who's one of my favorite wrestlers ever? Actually, Ken Shamrock. I loved watching Ken Shamrock fight. And I was a big old fan of Tatanka. But like if I'm talking about like long run, oh man. Oh, maybe maybe Bret the Hitman Hart, maybe because I was busting sharpshooter like never ending. He was a big influence on me. Me and the homies, we would just wrestle, and my cousins and stuff. We would wrestle all the time, busting out sharpshooters, figure 4 leg locks, frog splashing from the couch. That's how we used to get down back in the day. What's this Fortnite? I don't know nothing about Fortnite. Let's move the couches. Let's make a little makeshift wrestling ring. Undertaker's gotta be up there. I was a big fan of the Undertaker. The Big Show. Sting. Ray Ramon is way up there. I was gonna say Randy Savage. He's one of those ones up there too, like Sting, Randy Savage, Razor Ramon. They're way. But like when I was a kid, there was ones that just dominated my mind. And some of those other ones were just too high up there, you know. But it was a little bit pathetic. I was reading about that about Canelo. At first, I was like, this overcompensation stuff, fool, like it's enough already. It's enough. People are starting to see. I'm looking through you, and I started reading the articles, and then I wanted to watch the video because if you don't know what happened, here's what happened. So there's a soccer player called like Lionel Messi or something like that, and supposedly after his team from Argentina or something like that, they beat Mexico, I guess, and then supposedly there was a video where Messi was like stomping or stepping on a Mexican jersey. The first article I read, it said a Mexican flag. But then I read more, and apparently it was a jersey. And I watched the video. That's clearly not what happened. The locker room was a mess. There was stuff all over the floor. There was a Mexico jersey by that fool's foot. And it's just when you get from a long, hard day, you just start kicking off your shoes. He kicked off his shoe and it rubbed past the jersey. Like if it was someone who clearly wanted to stomp on the jersey or step on the jersey or whatever, it would have been done much differently. It wasn't like that wasn't what happened. I don't know if Canelo was inebriated in addition to the CTE. I don't know if it was just full blown and that was all it was. I don't know. I don't know if it's getting worse over time. I don't know, but he just felt like he had to come out and say something. And he wanted to fight that fool. He's like, if I see you, it's on site. You just greenlit. I greenlit you myself. Then all these Argentinian MMA fighters started chiming in like, you want to go like that? Like we could do the same thing. And we don't just throw punches. We got feet. We got 4 limbs. Nobody told you? We got 4 limbs, homie. We like to use everything we got. And then Canelo came out. He's like, I'm sorry on Twitter. He might have CTE, but he still got fear. He still got that. He's got that fear response in him. He came out and he took it back. And I'm assuming the fire's put out. I'm assuming that no one's going to be coming after him now. But look, we can't ignore the fact. We can't ignore the fact that he came out and he tried to fight a soccer player. No ignoring that. That's the Canelo that we're dealing with today. That's where his legacy is at. Canelo's on that level right now of a Conor McGregor type where, Conor McGregor was double champ and he was winning and crushing pay-per-views and everybody was rooting for him and he was the guy and he was unstoppable and no one could beat him and super fights and cross promotions and going into boxing and then he starts losing so much. It's like, all right, I need to try to fight with the referee Mark Goddard now. All right, I need to try to get in a fight with the DJ now. I got to try to get in a fight with Machine Gun Kelly. That's where Canelo's at right now. He lost to Triple G back in the day, even though on paper he didn't lose. He lost to Triple G. He lost to Triple G again, even though on paper and Wikipedia it says Canelo won. He lost again. He fought Triple G a 3rd time. And okay, Canelo, you won that one. I'm not even gonna, people come here for the truth. I'm not gonna lie. But he lost the first 2. Then he lost to this other fool lately. He's not the same man anymore. Before it was like, okay, he only lost to Mayweather. That's acceptable. He was young. He shouldn't have rushed into that fight. And he's basically undefeated. He's like Sean O'Malley. He's never lost, right? Not anymore. Lost to Triple G, and it was like, all right, I got to get it back. Then that one could kind of be a race like the Mayweather one. Lost to Triple G again. Then he lost his last fight. Now he's picking fights with soccer players. You should have at least accused him of something that there's not a video of. That way is he said. If you accuse him of something dumb and there's a video making you look ridiculous, now what are you going to do? Now you get on Twitter, you say, I'm sorry. Period. Yo, GM, did you see Kayla Harrison's aerial interview today after her first out? She looking really broken. I did not see it, and I'm so mad at myself that I didn't stream that Mexican Fight Companion that night. I was in my room, and I was about to start setting up and getting ready, but different things were going on at the pad, and I was losing more time, and by the time I would be able to stream, I was basically only going to be able to stream the main event. And I was like, I can't spend $60 on this for one fight. And I'm so mad I didn't, because I was going to get on the stream and I was going to tell you guys, Harrison's losing tonight. The hype train ends now. And nobody would have believed me. Nobody would believe me. And I would have been on that I told you so again, like I've been on when I tell you guys Jake Paul's going to win. When I was telling you guys Oliveira was going to lose. I would have been on that stride still. And when I saw the Twitter after that she lost, I was like, man, I could let him know. and I missed the opportunity. I'm not trying to hate for no reason, but look, Kayla Harrison is the kind of person that maybe needed to get taken down a peg because she's a little bit full of herself. And I don't know if that's just like a WWF type of fan. She just thinks she needs to commit to cutting the promo or what. But I tried to be a fan, and she's just obnoxious. I think she's a little bit too full of herself, and maybe she needed to get humble a little bit. I think she was turning into another Ronda Rousey, and I think it's going to be good for her. You don't have to be undefeated to be one of the best ever. You can still do it. But I didn't see it, but I think this loss is going to end up being a very good thing for her. Have you watched that show? This Fool got some good episodes, couple mad ones. I only a lot of people started telling me about it. I was like, "What is this?" And I looked it up and I watched it, and I thought it was hilarious. Like as you're saying, for the most part, I thought it was hilarious. I was also a little bit heartbroken and frustrated because some of you know, some of you don't. I started writing my own pilot because I wanted to make a series and try to pitch it to Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or something like that. I already had my pilot done. I started writing it in 2018, but then I left it alone for a long time because it was like I don't know anyone. I don't have any contacts. There's nothing I could do with this. And over time, I went back to it a little bit here and there, and I changed stuff to it, and I added stuff to it. And then people told me about that show, This Fool. I watched it, and this number stuck in my head. It had 7 very significant, very obvious. If anyone saw that episode and saw mine, would look like I copied them. 7 significant similarities, and I was devastated. You wouldn't believe it if you watched the first episode of This Fool and you read my pilot script. It was like we read off each other's homework. And I was like, what am I going to do now? Funny thing, though, some things came up. I might be able to shoot a pilot, actually, in a few weeks. And I rewrote an entirely different pilot episode, which I think is a billion times better than my first one. So it was a blessing in disguise, you know. I'm glad I saw that one and that it made me feel uncomfortable. Some people would have been like, I'm going to do it anyway. I wrote it before. I don't care. This is mine. I decided that was going to make me feel sick, and I wanted to do it, and I think it's way better now. So I'm very, very happy about that. I'm very happy. But I like the show. Much love to them. Much love to them. Maybe I'll hit them and try to do a cameo. I got no hate toward them. The last, not the last thing. I had a couple things I wanted to address, but I don't want my Rumble stream to be too late. Oliveira. A lot of us didn't know this. I didn't know this, but apparently Oliveira was offered a rematch to Makhachev, and he didn't want to take it. I don't know if this is breaking news to some of you guys right now. So I'm going to let that marinate for a moment because I'm getting thirsty. Oliveira was offered a rematch with Makhachev. I think it was for UFC 283. Oliveira offered rematch Makhachev. Oliveira turned down Islam Makhachev rematch at UFC 283 due to emotional damage. I didn't even think of that right now. Oliveira literally refused the rematch at UFC 283 due to emotional damage. Let it sink in. Now, this is what happens when you go full Gucci brain. When you go too soft, and you start letting all the money, it's the same thing that happened to Tyrone Woodley when he started coming out with all his singles. What was that song that he released? The Love and the Money, Love of the Money or something like that? Yeah, fool, that's what killed you. That's what got to your head. Now, that being said, eventually the Love of the Money led to him getting knocked out by Jake Paul and making more money than he ever made in his life. So I guess, it all worked out in the end for him. But Oliveira, He lost the title, and he doesn't want it again. And you know, with a lot of other champions, they lose it and they're like, I want it. Let's go right now. I don't even want to wait till tomorrow. Let's start it right now. Match tonight. Let's go. They want it back. They're hungry. They can't even sleep at night. We run it back right now. I don't want to wait. Not Oliveira. I can't even remember the last time we saw something like that. Can you? Usually every single person that loses it lately is like, I need to get back in there. I'm not going to be able to get over this. I need my belt back. I'm the champ. It was a fluke. I messed up. I went left when I should have went right. I underestimated him. Let's go again. Oliveira? Nah. And I want to remind you, I was a big fan of Oliveira. When he was still somewhere down there in the middle of the rankings, I was saying he is going to be the next champion. I think it was my Gaethje versus Khabib fight breakdown. I think it was at the end of that video. I think where I said it's over. It might have been a couple after that. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I said now that Khabib Nurmagomedov is gone, Oliveira is the next champion. People are like, you're trippy with Gaethje. Have you seen those haymakers? Gaethje's gonna get it. Have you seen him going there like that? The faith that all these fools have in Gaethje, I don't understand it. I don't understand this infatuation that fools have with Justin Gaethje. I do not understand it. I don't know if it's just an intense love for someone that's willing to go in there and put it all on the line and put on a good show and try to bang or what. I don't get it. But people are just obsessed with that fool. Rock 'em, sock 'em. That's it. Gaethje, Chandler, these kind of guys could hit, but they have almost zero IQ. I mean, it's just this loyalty that people have. Anyway, I was telling people it was going to be Gaethje. They didn't listen. I mean, Oliveira, they didn't listen, and it was. I was saying that he was going to be the champ before he was champ. I was a fan. And as time went on, I was like, this fool's changing. He's messing up. He's getting soft. He's getting distracted. And he started to beat up more and more in his fights. And yeah, he would win. But that's where he adopted the name, the Brazilian Zombie, along the way, you know, because he kept taking beatings. And now he doesn't even want the bout anymore. He's done. I don't know what he could do from here. It seems like Oliveira's in the type of mindset now. It's like when Khabib was around. What Gaethje had to accept. What Poirier had to accept. You know what? Maybe I'm going to have to settle for money fights. I'm going to have to settle for fights that fans are going to get excited about, where there could be good trash talk, where we could stand and bang, where it could be a good, high-level, well-balanced back and forth. But I'm not going to get the bout. Oliveira is either going to have to ride off into the sunset, or he's going to have to accept that. Well, let me, who else can I fight? Who else can he fight that he hasn't choked out already? I mean, he can't get a big money fight with Poirier or Gaethje. And unfortunately, not Dariush, because everybody disrespects my guy. So I don't even know what he could do. I don't know. Unless he's willing to fight up and comers, unless he's willing to fight really exciting people that are just trying to make a name for themselves, that people will be like, oh snap, you're actually gonna fight that fool? You know, there's always those dark horses that people avoid as long as they can. He's not gonna get a money fight against Poirier, Gaethje, Dariush, Chandler. Oliveira might get a lot of eyes. Might be able to make some money if he fights Fiziev. That's one of those types of fights I was talking about right now. Or Gamrot. But I mean, we saw him lose in dominant fashion. But if you look at the UFC rankings, Oliveira is still ranked number 1. Fiziev is 6th. Gamrot is 8th. You would think that he might be delusional and crazy to take those fights, right? He already lost. Not only lost, but to the point where he doesn't even want to fight anymore. He don't even want to try to get that belt back. That's how decisively and dominantly he lost. Now we're talking about giving him a dominant fool that's ranked 6th or 8th. Period. You missed the MOM. Gaethje is actually the subject of a very elaborate social experiment. Can a punching bag be wheeled in a champ? You took me on a roller coaster ride right there. Actually, oh, you know what? I want to always forget about this. I always forget about doing this. Gaethje is actually the subject of a very elaborate social experiment. Can a punching bag be wheeled into becoming a champ? Hey, that's a good one right there. Hey, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I could respect the fact that people like to see people throwing hands and it feels exciting. Aside from that, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. He's not gonna wrestle. He's not gonna wrestle. It's like I was telling some fool in the comment section the other day when he kept like vehemently trying to defend Sean O'Malley. I told him, fool, he's not gonna cheat on his wife with you, fool. I know that's he does it, and he's proud of it, and he never stops talking about it, but he's not gonna cheat on his wife with you, fool. Gaethje's not gonna wrestle, fool. You're not gonna make him wrestle. He's just not gonna do it. The only thing that Oliveira has left that he could do, and this is I mean, hear me out here. Hear me out. I would want to see this. I would be excited to see this. Let me get you excited right now. Charles Oliveira. He doesn't want about. He's tired. He's got that emotional damage right now. Everyone else at the top, he already beat. He doesn't want to fight people way lower than that. That would be ridiculous unless it's rank number 14. Do you know who's ranked number 14 in the lightweight division? Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor. That's the only fight right now. People be like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'll take out my Ridge wallet for that one. I'll throw down $70 for that one. That's different. That's different. He shouldn't be ranked. You're correct. I'm not saying that he should be, but it's there. And you know there's so many people, so many delusional people out there, people that are fans for like people like Sean O'Malley that still root for Conor McGregor. There's fools sick in the head out there still rooting for Conor McGregor. They want to see him come back. They want to see him come back to a big fight. And there's fools that want to see McGregor lose. He's got that Mayweather thing. That will be the only fight that makes sense for Oliveira right now. He doesn't want to fight Makhachev again. He's not going to beat him. He doesn't want to fight the people at the top. He already beat him. Doesn't make sense. No, it's not a big money fight. No one cares. They know how it'll end. He doesn't want to fight people way down there unless it's that one that got away. That one fool he wanted to fight for the longest. He kept talking about McGregor because he wanted that generational wealth for his family, for the favelas and whatnot, so he could buy some more lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. That's the kind of thing that he was looking for. Now he might get it. And by the time that he's healed from his emotional damage, that might be when Conor is fighting back in the testing pool after he's done making this movie. It's the perfect timing. F-bomb, GF, Volk, or Mock? What's your MMA math say? I'm a big fan of Volkanovski. Look, if you guys have been following this channel for any significant period of time, you know it's few and far between that I actually find someone that's worth rooting for personally. Most of the time, I'm just talking about the nonsense that's going on. It's a lot more rare that I actually find a fighter that I want to root for. Volkanovski's one of those guys. I like Volkanovski, but I think he made a big mistake trying to step up to Makhachev. Everything that Volkanovski would do in the cage, Makhachev is basically built to respond to. It's like I've been watching the UFC 1 event, the beginning, and UFC 2, No Way Out, and you just see down to its bare minimum, down to the bare basic essentials. You see the grapplers just waiting. You are right, David Capico, and that he's nothing to lose. It's like he's gonna lose his bout or anything. But for a whole lot of people, maybe not you, and that's good because that's just you showing some grace and not holding it against fools. But there's a big percentage of people, just like when Adesanya had nothing to lose against Blachowicz. But what he ended up losing is a lot of respect from people because ultimately they didn't end up caring. Oh, well, that fool was way bigger, or oh, you still got your title, or no, they clowned on him and they laughed and they said you should have stayed where you belonged. So even though maybe technically when you look at it from a level-headed perspective, he has nothing to lose, fools could end up losing a lot of respect, and maybe they don't want him anyway. Fair weather fans. And it's just something for people to grab onto and just talk about forever. Depends on what kind of disposition and personality you have as a fighter, I guess, if you could hang with that. Someone at a side, I feel like it probably eats away at him. He's one of those fools that will compensate and act like it doesn't, but it definitely does. I see what you're saying. I respect that angle because he's still going to go home with his belt either way. But it does hurt me as a big Volkanovski fan. I just feel like it's just be a little blemish on the legacy, you know? And I'm saying that being a Volkanovski fan. And I might be more of a Volkanovski fan than I am a Makhachev fan. I'm not sure because I'm a fan of both of them. I just think that, yeah, when I was watching those old UFC fights, it's as if these wrestlers, these sambo fools, these grapplers, these jiu-jitsu dudes, actual jiu-jitsu, not this new stuff, where it's basically, every moment they've ever spent on the mat is more geared toward grappling tournaments, where it's just very homogenized, and just very like, here's the rules and here's the restrictions and the regulations. I'm talking about old school jiu-jitsu, It's like these fools built to respond to these kicks. It's like they just wait for them. I remember one time I saw this demonstration with Steven Seagal, and we clown on all we want, but it was pretty impressive. I mean, at least the concept of what he was showing. I mean, and this is true. He was talking about like when someone has a knife or like a sword or something like that. And this works with punching or anything. He was talking about the timing, about how when someone throws this, that's the time you close the distance. Like, let's say someone has a knife and, he's doing that typical like, or like he was kind of timing it so that when the guy swung, when he's about right here, that's when he closes in before he gives him time to come back with it. And I feel like those kicks that Volkanovski throws, he throws a lot of kicks and they always work very well in his favor. Because he throws them against a lot of people at the time. People who were going to want to trade with them, people who were going to want to check those kicks, people who were going to want to step out of them and throw their own kicks. He's throwing them against a Dagestanian That Dagestanian is geared just like that swinging sword. He's geared to wait and wait and wait for that and wait for that opening. And when the kick swings this way, he's gonna dive that way, and he's gonna go for the single leg, or he's gonna go. I just see like the strongest thing about Volkanovski, which is he's so perfect at throwing those leg kicks, wearing them down, maintaining that distance with the leg kicks. I feel like that's something that Makhachev can really take advantage of. Something that usually work in Volkanovski's favor, I think would be flipped in Makhachev's favor. And just, Makhachev's not the biggest dude. I don't know what the reach discrepancy is. But I feel like, we know this now. Hopefully no one is still blind to this. Hopefully no one's disrespecting Makhachev's hands anymore. We know he has hands. I'm not even going to act like he's a better striker than Volkanovski. But just the fact that, if the discrepancy is impressive enough, plus the fact that Makhachev has hands, Volkanovski's going to have to worry about that as well, because Makhachev's not going to have as hard of a time getting in and closing the distance with the longer range. And he's got hands. It's not like he's going to get in there but not hurt him. He could get in there and hurt him. And if Volkanovski wants to keep the distance by throwing a leg kick, Makhachev will catch that and take him down. He'll ankle pick him. He'll single leg him. He'll do that thing where he picks it up real high and trips the other leg and makes him fall on his back. And then Volkanovski's like, okay, let's wrestle. And then Makhachev's like, you've seen me fight before, right? I don't think you do want to wrestle. Beyond that, I was going to touch real quick on Jake Paul and Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett made a good point. And you know what? I've never been a fan of Paddy Pimblett. I think that fool's really annoying. But I gave him credit where it's due, And he impressed me the other day. He impressed me the other day when his dog went doo-doo on that lady's yard. I don't know if you guys saw that clip. His dog went doo-doo on some lady's yard. That's what I'm talking about. Pee-pee. Paddy Pimblett. Pee-pee. His dog probably went pee-pee too. On some lady's yard. And he went to her doorbell, to her Ring doorbell or whatever it was. He's like, hey, I'm sorry. I apologize. My dog did a doo-doo and I feel bad. And it's like all wet. It's like full on chorro. Like I can't even pick it up. It's just going to melt in my hand, not in my bag, Like I can't even get it into the little baggie. And I was like, you know what? That's integrity right there. That's really... You know what? It reminded me of something right now. All right, look it. I'll tell you a quick story. When I was and some people are saying it was staged. I don't know. It could have been. But I'll get back to the Pimblett and Jake Paul thing right now. I'll tell you a brief story. The old pad I used to live in, the whole kitchen was all tile. And I remember sometimes I would try to get ice out of the fridge. And sometimes a couple pieces fall on the ground, right? Well, because the kitchen was all nothing but tile, I would just kick them under the fridge. And I'd be like, whatever. It'll just melt. I don't care. And I used to do that all the time. I mean, it's not like I drop like 30 pieces a day or anything like that. But every once in a while, ice will fall on the ground. And then, it happened enough. I used to pick it up, and then I got tired of it. And I was like, I'm just going to kick it under there. What's it going to do? It's tile. And look, I'm just going to be real with you, all right? I'm not proud of it. But I'm going to tell you. I had this job at the time. And it's probably a little different when you're at work. You should probably be a little bit more respectable when you're at work. But I was at this job and I dropped some ice. We were there working late. It was we were doing a video shoot. I was on the video production team. We were doing a video shoot and You know how sometimes the ice machine just like spazzes out. I mean, it shot down like 20 pieces of ice or something, like 20 cubes at least. I mean, it was like shooting it out. Like if it was like if I won some free candy or something, you know? And it was a late again. I'm not proud of this. I'm just telling you. It just shot out of there and I was tired. It was a long shoot. I wanted to go home. I was like an hour away from home. And I just started swiping it under the fridge with my foot. I just started like side kicking it in there. You know, I left and I forgot about it. I'm probably building this up too much. You had to be there. I'm just gonna get to the point. But it was like a little bit later. We were back in the kitchen area, and there was this lady that we had there helping us with the shoot. She was like a makeup lady. She was like a hair and makeup lady. The ice had all melted, and look it. I'm gonna say this in the most delicate way I can. You know how I always say that I wish I'd be so happy if the UFC made a heavyweight division. She will be able to fight in the heavyweight division. Um, she was a very healthy woman. She was extremely healthy. Um, some people might say dangerously healthy, and she slipped on the water, and I swear it looked like it was in slow motion because, and I didn't realize at the time why this looks fake. How come the way she's falling down doesn't look real? And it's because the whole time she was falling, she was trying not to fall. she was trying to she was trying to break her fall. So it was the weirdest looking slow motion looking fall I've ever seen. And she hit the ground so hard. And everybody was like, they kind of traced back like where the water had come from. And then someone was like, oh man, the fridge must be broken. Something's wrong with this fridge. And I was in there like, yeah, we need to do something about this fridge. And I was just like, man, that's messed up. This fridge is spazzing out. And then one of the homies, or should I say ex-homies, that has seen me kick the ice under, he ratted me out. Oh, I was so mad. Oh my gosh. He's like, hey, fool, didn't you kick some ice under the fridge earlier? And the lady looked so confused and like so hurt that I didn't fess up to it sooner. I just dipped. I was done. That was humiliating. Oh, but that was dirty. Like I would have never exposed them like that. That was, you don't do stuff like that. But sometimes when I'm alone and I keep some ice under the fridge, I think about that lady. That was bad. I don't remember if I straight up owned up to it. I can't, to be honest, I can't remember. I can't fully remember the final detail. If I was like, "What? Nah, you're dumb. It wasn't me. What are you talking about?" Or I was like, I think by that point I was like, I couldn't help myself and I just started laughing. Like it all just hit me at the same time. I don't know. I don't know. I should ask him. I should ask him if he remembers. So I can't believe I went into that whole tangent. Okay, Jake Paul versus Patty Pimblett. We don't look at Pimblett made a good point. He said that he said that it was dumb that Jake Paul was trying to fight with him during fight week. He's like, "What are you doing? You know it's my fight week. Really? You think I'm gonna fight you during?" So he's telling him to go meet him at the Apex and to bring the $1 million in a bag, and they're gonna fight then. I don't know. What do you think? Pimblett or Paul. So Pimblett, I don't know. I mean, it depends. You never know with this fool. If he's gonna be his fighting weight, I don't even know. What is it? He's at 55, right? I mean, if he catches him after fight week, Pimblett will be like what, 220, 230 at that point? He'll probably weigh more than Jake Paul. So I don't know what's the one because Pimblett ended up telling him, "Look, you're dumb. You're trying to fight me during my fight week. Let's fight after. If you really mean come after, bring the money. We'll do it then." And I saw, I think Ariel Hawani asking him like a boxing match or like an MMA match, and Pimblett was like, "Whatever, let's do a boxing match. I'll beat him." When he said that, I was like, "All right, I think this was a little bit dumb." I think he's a little bit dumb. Um, because I don't think there's any way that Paddy Pimblett will beat Jake Paul in a straight boxing match. Catchweight 185. I don't. I'm not trying to be biased or anything like that. I know that every time I'm picking Jake Paul, and I don't want to make it seem like it's just an automatic thing, but I think it's kind of foolish of Pimblett. He should have said MMA match. He should have went full on the other end, been like, "Fool, you want to fight? Let's really fight," and said it like that instead of actually acting like he could beat him in a straight boxing match. I think that's foolishness. Um, I'm just gonna touch on these real quick because I gotta move over to Rumble real soon here. But Jake and Pimblett, I think that's a bad move for Pimblett. I think he should have a little more other way with it, got a little bit dramatic, try to heat things up and say, let's just do an MMA match, try to call it a real fight, because I don't think he has a chance against Paul in a boxing match. We ain't talking about a YouTuber right here. We ain't talking about a fresh YouTuber. We're talking about a professional boxer here. This fool's been dedicating his life to this game for like 3-4 years already. Connor versus Artem. That was something I wanted to touch on real quick. Apparently, Artem went to college for like finance and business and marketing and all this stuff. And he had a very big hand actually in getting the proper 12 thing off the ground. Did anybody know that? I had no idea. No idea. Apparently, he got some guys on this, some lawyers, and they're like, no, this fool knows what he's doing. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He helped them with all this stuff. He put this all together. And Connor's like, and now Connor was like, this Connor probably doesn't have any money, which is probably why he's doing this Roadhouse movie. Conor McGregor says, how about this? Instead of paying you, let's fight. Did you guys read about that? Conor McGregor's trying to meet him at SBG. What's it called? SBG Boxing tonight. He's like, meet me there at 10:30. Let's fight for it. You beat me, you get the money or whatever. I beat you, you shut up and you disappear. He's trying to fight him. That's how Conor's trying to handle it. He's got no money left. All these, all that hush money, all these out of court settlements. He's gonna try to fight his ex-best friend so that he don't have to pay him what he owed him. Oliveira, Makachev, we talked about that. Pereira and Adesanya. The thing that has me confused about the Chamoyev and Pereira situation is, no, you know what? Here's my ideal situation. We've already seen Adesanya lose to Pereira enough times. We don't need to see that rematch, no matter how bad Adesanya wants it. That rematch happening is nothing but for Adesanya because he wants it, because nobody else wants it or needs it, except the fanboys that are hoping that he could come back. Ordinary Pete, this is the first time I've seen you in here tonight. He wants that rematch because they know Pereira wins. But you know what I have been wanting to see for the longest, which made me kind of sad when Pereira beat. This actually made me sad when Pereira beat Adesanya because I felt like I wouldn't get to see this then, but I don't know why. Chamoyev against Adesanya. I've been wanting to see that brutalization for quite a while now. And when Adesanya lost the title, I thought, oh man, we might not get to see that now. But it doesn't have to be that way. Because it looks like if Pereira fights Chamoyev, Chamoyev's going to beat him. Probably so dominantly so that they're not going to give Pereira a rematch, especially if they don't give Adesanya the rematch right away. They'll have no precedence to do that. So Pereira loses to Chamoyev, then Chamoyev fights Adesanya for the title. And then we all want it all along. That's the best route right there. Last thing I was going to mention, Nate Diaz officially released from the UFC. I'm just you guys stuff you already know. It's pretty late in the day. This news has already broken. Nate Diaz officially released by the UFC. I thought he already was, so it didn't seem that crazy to me. But now he's actively out there looking for stuff. Supposedly, one article said that he's already calling out Jake Paul. I don't know. Jake Paul's trying to fight Pipi. Nate Diaz is trying to fight Jake. Let's have a triple threat. Let's get real weird. They didn't give Jose Aldo a rematch. Why give it? That's what I'm saying. Nothing's ever consistent, though. Nothing's ever consistent. All right, so look it. You might have seen the post that I made earlier. I'll let you know again. If you haven't, if you can't make it, I understand. I don't expect you to be able to just sit there and watch 3 hours worth of content from me. I'm sure you got one life to live and whatnot. So I just want to tell you, if you're able and if you're willing, I'm going to hop over here and I don't know. I want to give myself a little breather, 15, 20 minutes. I'm not sure. Something like that. I'm going to be over there on Rumble channel because Rumble lets me stream stuff that YouTube doesn't. I talk about a street fight. I talk about something copyrighted, whatever. YouTube, they take me down. It happened the other night. Rumble, I could go over there and I could do whatever I want. So I'm going to be over there in a little bit. That's the link. When I have the actual video link, which hasn't been created yet, I'm gonna post that one maybe on the community tab. I don't know. I appreciate that, David Capico. You're a rare breed. But why not Twitch? As far as I know, Twitch is a lot more similar to YouTube than Rumble as far as like copyright and taking stuff down and censoring audio and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not saying that there's no chance I'll ever do that. I need to learn about it a little more. But as of right now, I could do the most on Rumble. No questions asked. That's what's up, P. Aziz in the GM. Would you cut your BF off your life, your best friend? GM, would you cut your best friend off your life for $10 million? I live a pretty I live like a hermit's life. I basically do nothing but work and then devote everything else to family time. I don't have any friends, so I'll take that 10 million right now. If you're the kind of person that has those kind of friends, the fact that it even makes you ask this kind of question, then I wouldn't want to speak for you because you obviously lead a very different life than me, and friends mean quite a bit to you. So I wouldn't want to cheapen that. But if you just want my personal answer, definitely. Oh, definitely. And you know what? Even speaking for you, 3 to 5 months, you'll get over it. That's what's up, G family. GM doesn't have friends. He has students. That's good. And I like what Jason Luther said. He said, "We're your friends. Take the 10 million. No hard feelings. Like, you got more friends in here." All right, so I'm gonna be back on Rumble. There's the link I posted. Scroll up a little bit if you missed it. I'm gonna be on my Rumble page and 15, 20 minutes or so. If you can make it, I appreciate it. Hopefully we have a good time. Thank you for watching Mexican Martial Arts. Appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video on your way out. Your like helps. Good looking out. Late.